I came across a wonderful diatribe from Owen Jones, and I thought, a monologue indeed, in rhetorical terms of firebomb wrapped in a Molotov cocktail and hurled into a bonfire. It's furious, it's theatrical, and despite its scattergun delivery, the relentless polemic, the casual relationship with balance is not entirely wrong and is delicious to listen to. Whether you embrace Owen Jones's political creed, I don't. It doesn't really matter because he is riveting to listen to. And in this particular case, he's picked up the issue about the welfare state and the changes proposed by Rachel Reeves and the welfare minister, Kim Thingamy. And it's if the welfare state was so crippled, as indeed it is, then and it's so much in need of change, then this is something which he's quite right should have been flagged up in the manifesto. Structurally, his talk isn't so much as a talk as a televised howl. Jones presents himself as the last moral man in an immoral world, and his tone veering between the prophet Jeremiah and the man who's just stubbed his toe on neoliberalism. He weaponizes repetition. They don't care. They've been kicked out just to balance the books, to great emotional effect. But it's also where the cracks begin to show. He collapses complexity into conspiracy, nuance into nausea, and the government isn't just making cuts. They're androids, they're soulless, they're dead behind the eyes, a rogues gallery fit for a Dickensian hellscape. And this turns political criticism into personality assassination, often undermining his very real points. I think there are legitimate criticisms in this fiery tirade. The 5 billion figure is accurate. It's tied to proposed changes to personal independence payment, the PIP thing, and universal credit reform. The Resolution Foundation's warning is real. Debbie Abrahams did criticise the plan vocally. Tiny Gray Thompson has warned about mid-level support vanishing and pushing people into deeper poverty. These aren't fringe voices. These are knowledgeable insiders. However, the analysis that Owen offers comes tethered to hyperbole so intense that it almost devours the facts. For example, invoking 330,000 excess deaths and linking them to conservatism without clarifying this is a debated figure connected to a broader austerity criticism is careless at best and dishonest at worst. Likewise, portraying every Labour MP with a conscience as purged is a distortion. Many have lost the whip for specific breaches of party discipline. Some justified, some dubious, but it's not the Salem witch trials. Corbyn, Sultana, MacDonnell, they weren't kicked out as much as severely at odds with party policy and strategy. The use of individual quotes from David Colley to the GMB case studies is emotionally compelling, but borders again on manipulation. There's a whiff of Jeremy Kyle politics here. Case study presented as spectacle. And there's a cartoonish sneer at Torsten Bell's mortgage, as if anyone with housing costs is disqualified from economic policy making. Ironically, Bell did previously write about the dangers of pushing children into poverty, and Jones is right to note the hypocrisy, but the delivery is pure vinegar. And the final few minutes turn into a sermon against centrism and electoral compromise. His call to arms to abandon Labour entirely is fine in principle, but it blithely ignores the reality of first-past-the-post politics, and he implies the only moral position is political martyrdom, regardless of the consequences. Well, despite this screaming bias, Owen Jones is broadly correct that these disability benefit changes are a stealth austerity, that Labour didn't campaign on this, the poorest will be hardest hit, and technocrats like Bell are now publicly defending positions that they once criticised. And his rage, Owen Jones's rage, finds traction because it articulates a widely felt disappointment, not just with Labour's choices, but with the idea that politics might be different, and then isn't. he channels that disillusion into like a manic street preacher with a Wi-Fi connection. And Jones' criticism is like a Marxist production of Les Miserables, reimagined by Baz Luhrmann, impassioned, oversaturated, and about 5 verses too long. One almost expects him to burst into revolutionary song. Do you hear the people whinge? His tone could be summarized as, everyone is evil, I am good, and unless you agree with me completely, you're enabling genocide. It's a style that wins YouTube shares, not elections. And he denounces political careerists while clearly building a personal media empire out of outrage, a sort of socialist influencer, part Trotsky, part TikTok. If Labour is guilty of moral compromise, Owen is guilty of moral absolutism with a ring light. And Jones is probably right about the cruelty and the incoherence of these benefit cuts, but his delivery makes it so much harder for people to agree with him without also agreeing with his entire worldview, which is, for many, a bridge too far. This is part of the... he is part of the YouTube package that you are either in this tribe or you're in that tribe. I would like to make it very clear. I don't belong to a tribe, and I don't propose tribalism. And if you want to listen to Owen Jones and make sense of him, then you're listening to the Cassandra of the left, always shouting, often correct, but rarely listened to. And I would say, do listen to him, but listen to him as a he is an architect of the beautiful impassioned rant. The sense is one thing, but the delivery and the beauty of his presentation is quite another. And give me an Owen Jones. This is, in many ways, he shares a delivery quality. He shares the beauty of delivery with people like Farage and Jacob Rees-Mogg. And that all three are worth listening to. All three have got it slightly skewed because they don't seem to listen to anybody else who has alternative views. They're locked in their own little worldview. And Jacob Rees-Mogg probably is the most reasonable of the three, but even he is locked in his own little worldview. And we need to get out. We need to talk to people who don't share our opinions. And that's one good reason to listen to Owen Jones, because I don't know very many people who really share his opinions. And when I'm having a dull day, I think let's have a little bit of Owen Jones, because that will brighten up my time. And, I recommend him. Actually, if you want to counter Owen Jones with something useful, listen to Owen Jones and then go and listen to Maya Tusi. That will do it. There's a little bit of balance for you.